Well. Look at me, I'm a little bit early today. But how do I sound? Going to be the big question. So hopefully when somebody hops into the stream, there's Phone Farming. How you doing? Do I sound okay? Didn't do any testing. Too busy screwing around. So hopefully I sound good. Hopefully I sound loud enough. So we're gonna just kind of screw around just a little bit for a minute or so. Wait for people to hop into the stream. Mr. Research Hustler, welcome. Is I good? Hopefully you are good as well. I'm a little disorganized, and I really hate to say that. Ugh. Because I kind of been a long day. I didn't sleep well last night. I had a rough day at work. Had some supper, and then I actually fell asleep on the sofa. So it's going to be a really tough night of probably trying to fall asleep tonight. So then I got to screwing around. I was doing some playing with the dog. I was actually listening to my boy Soda Free for a little bit. Got the tail end of his live stream. There's Mr. Roshan P. Roshan P. apparently has name. What's up with the name change there, Roshan? Are you trying to hide your last name? And we got the big Roshan, the Roshan Desai. So I was planning on giving out one of my referrals this week. Well, that didn't happen because we're only at 890. Earn money online. How you doing? Hometown Dispatch. Welcome. We got a lot of the regulars here. Always like the regulars. I wasn't sure what to expect tonight. Odd day. Probably a really bad time for the East Coasters. So that I apologize. It was more of it's just been kind of a long week already. I have no excuse. Not even gonna make an excuse. It was I always say this. We all have the same 24 hours in a day that Albert Einstein had, Da Vinci had, all those guys. So I have no excuse. Phone farming. How many referrals do you have? I have 6 accounts right now. And what I've done so far is I've already given away. Maybe have I given away 3? One I only have 1 phone in, but I'm actually going to start populating. Which that would be my original account. I wouldn't even know who's got that. I have no idea who's actually got that. So what I have left for my referrals, I'm going to do one at 900. Then I'm going to do that will be another 20 phone account, 900. Then once we hit 1,000 subscribers, then I'll be giving away my 40, my one that has 40 phones. So and then the last one that I'll be populating, uh, what I'm probably going to do is actually give that out to one of the subscribers. What I'll probably do is, you know, one of y'all that actually come each week. What I'll probably actually do is ask one of y'all if you want to be a moderator, because I don't always have a chance to slap somebody around. It doesn't happen very often. That somebody gets a little unruly. We don't hardly ever have that happen. But I would like to get a moderator, and that's probably how I'll reward them, is give them an actual role. Rashawn Desai. It's 8:32 here in India. Rashawn P. I haven't heard from Cash Magnet support for over a week now. Yeah, they're kind of mad at me because I teed off on them the other night. I actually had some guy from support tell me that I need to clear the data from Cash Magnet to help with an issue. I wasn't very kind, and I probably should apologize, but I'm a little ticked off about that. So, Rashawn, what I'd keep doing is, keep sending them reports. So, phone farming, you're in India as well, if I remember right. Is that correct? Where is everybody from? I believe everybody knows that I'm in the middle of Nebraska. So, where is everybody from? I always get curious about that. I like hearing where you guys are all from. Phone farming, we're gonna get into that here in a little bit. Actually need to set some. Let's. I'm going to do. Well, you know what? Before I get started, let me show you. Let me tell you what's going on, real quick. And I'm not gonna get all wild and crazy yet about this. I'm not gonna. But what we're looking at doing is we're basically looking at possibly doing networking. I shouldn't say possibly. I should say probably. What we're looking at probably doing is everybody can have a network like mine. It's not going to cost them an arm and a leg. Okay, so phone farming, yes, he's in India, upstate New York. Oh, that's right, home. One of the greatest states, and that, of course, is Michigan for Mark. Mark's another big Cash Magnet guy. He should have a zillion phones, but he's dragging his feet. Just kidding, Mark. Rashawn Desai, the funniest thing is I was actually looking at my trip to the Steelers training camp in Pennsylvania. Actually looking at doing that late August or early August. Okay, so what I've been doing is I've been doing some testing. And I'm going to show you a video how my network right now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a little video, and okay, before I get started with it, y'all know that my chord management sucks. So don't jump all over me about my chord management. So what you're seeing, the little black dot, that's my Alexa. These two boxes here, there. These two boxes, these are my modems. And I specifically show you that these are SMC. Very specific. The modems that I had before were Hitrons or Hitron. I'm not sure how you say it. And they would crash because of honey gain. Now these SMCs, they don't crash. Oh, I'm going to back this up a little bit. So that little white thing right there, that is actually, I got a smoke detector there. I actually can't have it sitting above my phones because of the gases that the phones emit actually sets it off. So I actually have it sitting right there. This, of course, is my Dusty 12P, Ubiquiti 12P. And you see that I just have a jumble of cords, jumble of cables. Now, what I have going on here is needed. The furthest one here, that is, why ain't I in there? I don't know why I wasn't full screen. That was a stupid one. So that is my internet right there. And I really should have showed you the back, but I actually don't. This white cable goes to my PC. This black cable, this is going to go to one of modems, one of the routers, and I'll show you that. Oh, okay. So I'm sorry, Big Debbie. So I have 26 IP addresses through my ISP. So each one of those modems allows me to have 13 IP addresses. Because I go through Spectrum, you can get blocks of 5, 13, 29. Now, I didn't want to get a block of 29 because it'd be sequential. I didn't go that route. The other 3 blue cables there, 2 of those are the AP/AC lights, and another one is the long range one. Okay. Okay, so this one right here, I believe, marker up, that is going to my old PC that I run HoneyGain on it, and I was running FluidStack on it. Well, the gray cable here, that is my newest access point. That is a Ubiquiti HD Flex. And I'll show you a little more of that. And I'll show you that Flex here in as you can see my terrible chord management. I actually have, that's one of my cache magnet phones there. because it keeps dying. And I know I need to get a new battery for it. I actually probably have the wrong battery. I did not show you. Yeah, you can hardly see it. The little white box there. I'll go over that some other time. Okay, so there is the HD Flex. And hometown dispatch, that's exactly what I'm going to talk about after I finish this. Is we're going to talk about those static IPs from Josh. But I just kind of want to show you guys real quick here. So what this HD does is it can handle up to 500 devices, but really not that. Either it has some issues or maybe I don't have it set up right. But I mean, it works great. But I tried to get rid of 2 of my access points and it didn't play well. So you'll see in the background there's an access point there. That is just an AP-AC light. And this is one of my banks here. Here's a problem that I'm running into. 82 degrees in my office. Whew. And right now I'm in a sweatshirt and I am sweating. And I think that's kind of, I think I'm having problems because of it. And not sure about how I'm exactly taking care of it. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of Cat 5, just a big mess right there. It's because it's a 50-foot cable. I was going to run it through my attic. Now I'm not sure what I'm going to do. So it's a mess. And there's another access point. My third access point is actually in another, because that's further down. Now, so the reason kind of why I'm showing you all this, why I just showed you, you know, I can tell you how much. So the 4 access points, and the R12P was around, let's see, probably around $750 total. All those. And what Josh and I are seeing from our testing right now is you don't need all that crap. You don't need it. Most everybody is probably going to stay fairly small. They're not going to get ridiculous like me or Mark or Sean. They're not going to go hog wild and throw up 120 phones. So what we're looking at here. Let me delve into this. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this. So now don't go out and get old hog wild and buy one of these yet. Don't do it. Don't do it. He needs to actually move his IP addresses from one ISP to another. That's one thing that has to happen. Now, we're still doing some testing. I think everything's fine, but I'm not positive. Not seeing big issues. Now, Who was it? Okay, who had the so Big Debbie, I have the ER4. Maybe I should bring it out. Your ER4 is actually going to be perfect for this, depending on how big your setup is going to be. Really, all that most people are going to need is an ERX and an AP/AC. That's it. Now, like I said, don't be running out. Don't be buying this equipment because we're not ready yet. Hoping within a couple of weeks. But Josh is doing some. And if people don't know, when I talk about Josh, I'm talking about my tech guy. Josh has done about a dozen big setups like mine. People. Excuse me. He's helped me out multiple times. Josh has access to a bunch of IP addresses that are going to absolutely be like an ISP. Or sorry, just like a regular static IP address. They're not going to come out. They're not going to come out as VPNs. And Rashawn, you're absolutely right. The ERX is it's not a good router. It's not terrible. But the thing is most people can get away with running that for $60, as opposed to the Edge router, which Big Debbie has. That's $180. A lot of the people that I see in these Facebook groups, they don't have any money. Some of these people are really using some of this phone farming money to pay their phone bill, their electricity bill. For me, I got a full-time job. All this has just been really kind of play money for me. It's been such a fun experience. And now getting into, I've been doing the YouTube thing for 8 months now. And I really enjoy the YouTubing thing so I can help other people out. I really that's the biggest part. That's the reason why I do these videos. It's not, oh, hey, look at me, I'm Cash Magnet Guru and I have, 170 phones. Put me up on a pedestal. No. No, that's not me. That is not me. I'm here to help people. Getting people in touch with Josh and then hearing back from these people that are saying, oh my gosh, I made $700 last month from Cash Magnet. I love hearing that. And I know it's scary and I know it's expensive and I know it so That's why we're kind of looking for like a cheaper alternative. You know, if we can, how many people are going to, how many people are going to actually really set up more than 20 phones? You know, Rashawn P, you got the ERX. You know, does it struggle with more than 20 phones on it? 30 phones on it? Yeah, probably. But how many people are really going to have 20, 30 phones on? Yeah, I wouldn't think a lot to begin with. You know, how many true phone farmers really have more than 30? You know, most of us are just kind of an anomaly that have more than 30. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so Ricky Farmer excuse me again. So Ricky Farmer brings up a thing here. Only technically need an AP and an R. Now, what if this works out like Josh and I are expecting, is a Ubiquiti edge router and a Ubiquiti access point are going to be required. There will not be any kind of setups for anything. So, I mean, that's it. That's it. You know, because most other routers, you can't do what you can do with Ubiquiti. You just can't do it. Okay, so let's hop into the stream here a little bit. My AR5 has not let me down. Doctor, you know, when I really look back, and I do have an ER5 sitting in my closet, I'm actually really thinking that what was causing my ER5 issues was my old router. That it wasn't actually that there was nothing actually wrong with my ER5. And I don't think now that I really look back, I don't think there's anything wrong with me. How many phones do you have on the ER5? I'm pretty sure the ER4 is better. Yeah, the ER4 is better. Oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, the ER4 is better. It just has one less port. How did you connect those four APACs to your Wi-Fi? They're all plugged in via PoE. And if you all watch some of Phone Farmer Scott, you'll actually see some videos where he actually does a better job doing it. But PoE is power over Ethernet. So those different cables. Sometimes I go a little fast. So you gotta like smack me on the nose. And I do have a tendency to possibly not explain stuff fully. So that I apologize for. Okay, so all four of those access points plugged in right here. Now, they do not have, you're going to actually see this. They do not have, you don't see any other cable connected to. You're going to see that access point in the back. There is no other cable connected. What the ER does. Oh, I'm sorry. I actually kind of that 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 HD flex that actually is going to something else that is powered it. My bad. And I'll explain. It's called a PO inject. But I mean, most people don't need something like that. Really don't. So okay, so okay, Big Debbie, you can get a used Pro for the same price. Has a new light on eBay. Yeah, I honestly, I'll tell you what, I would never ever buy router, a used router. I wouldn't do it. Flip over those couch cushions, look for those pennies. You know, uh, spend a week eating ramen noodles. Save your pennies. Don't buy used equipment. No way, I would never do that. Um, so doctor, you don't have any problems running I'm sure you don't have. I ran well over 52 devices on my 5. I didn't have problems. Big Debbie, I don't think you would have any issues whatsoever running 80 phones on an ER4. You would probably need 2 access points for an ER4. Ricky Farmer, 12 phones coming tomorrow, coming Monday. Love seeing that. Love seeing people expand. Love seeing. Oh, so Rashawn P, seen that it struggled after only 10 phones on the ERX. Is that right? It actually struggles? Are did you actually look at like the CPU utilization? Were you kind of capping out, Rashawn? I used Doctor. I used the ER5 Nano HD access point. I've used mainly running CM and HD. And so, Doctor, how many are you running on CacheBank? How many are you running on uh on Honey Game? Seen that? Does that make my ER12P unusable? No. I mean, Hometown Dispatch. You know, if things work out the way hoping, the ER12P is going to be some overkill. But depending on how many phones you're going to have, you still need the access ports. You need the ports on the front. I have 4 access points right now. I tried to go down to 3, and it didn't play well. I'm going to do some more testing on that because realistically, I should be able to go down to 2. But it didn't like when I did that last night. So that's the reason. And I have two PCs. So even the ER4, I couldn't use the ER. I couldn't even use the ER5 right now. So the more devices you add to your network, the the more ports you're going to need. So Hometown Dispatch, I and the 12P, you never have to worry about maxing that thing. That thing is Love that thing. You know, my ER5, my ER5 used to get hot, and oh, actually, that's kind of funny. So I actually just oh gee, embarrassed by it. So I actually just felt over on my ER12B, and it was hot. Oh, that thing never gets hot. And apparently, when I was moving around cables or whatever, I flipped it over. And oh, it was so the vents were actually on the bottom. Never claimed to be the sharpest crayon in the box. I have an overkill for my current setup, ER12P with APHD. Yeah, with 10 phones. Ricky Farmer, but you know what? You know, you know what people would have told me, Ricky Farmer, when I was ramping up my stuff, December or November, December 2008. People told me I was stupid. You know, I was paying 35, 40 bucks for phones. Called me dumb. You know, I bought my ER5, struggling, trying to get my network up and going. And, you know, when I started having problems with my ER5, I went ahead and bought the ER12P. Was it overkill then? Yeah, it really was overkill then. I only had one network up and going, one modem up and going. I think maybe I bet I only had one access point at that time. I only had one PC. But you know what? You know what? You're you're set up for the future. You're future proof, right? Yeah. Does that make my ER12P unusable, or can it still be used? Absolutely. I you know, I have an overkill for my current setup, ER12 with APHD and phones. I don't call that overkill. I call that future proofing. I call that looking for the future. Doctor, I still have an additional 24 devices I have yet to set up. I'm just not motivated after the CM issues I've had. Doctor, what CM issues are you having? Because, you know, I can kind of go off on Cash Magnet. I want to keep the show positive, so I'm not really going to bash on that tonight. Maybe I will save that for next week because I'm okay bashing on that. So Doctor runs 52 on. So Doctor, oh wow. So Doctor, you run 52 on Cash Magnet and 52 on Honey Gain. How do you run 52 on Honey Gain? Or am I missing something there? So what happens with all the IPs when the power flickers and the internet cuts out? Will everything reboot up fine? Yes, Big Debbie. Big Debbie, these are not VPNs. These are not VPNs. I can't show you in my router in my ER12P because I don't like showing my IP. Mark Ricky Farmer with your APHD, how many phones do you think you can put on it? How many 2.4 gigahertz devices can? Yeah, this is what I was like. Okay, so one part of the networking, you know, I know that I'm not showing y'all how my stuff is configured in my ER 12p. Well, I'm going to be flat out and honest. I said this over and over. Y'all can't set up your own ER12p. Can't do it. Unless you're a network engineer, can't do it. Now, I'll give kudos to Phone Farming Scott because he's done a lot of his own. And Sean, who I do a lot of collaboration with, done a lot of his own config. Mark can attest that you don't want to be trying this stuff yourself. Mark and I have tried. Mark and I actually tried one time. That didn't go over well, did it, Mark? Okay, so Dr. Connected all 52 are on CM on Cache Magnet, and of the 52, I've selected 3 of 4 to run HD. Doctor, are you running Honeygain on your Cache Magnet phones? Oh boy, I don't know if that's what you're talking. I don't do that. So okay. So one thing that you have to have with this type of a network is you have to have this called the UniFi. And excuse me, let me grab a cough drop. So what the UniFi is, all that it is the program that runs on a dedicated server, basically. And this allows you to have full control over your access point time. I know that sounds confusing. It makes no sense to me, honestly. Trying to set one of these up yourself is a nightmare. I tried. I pulled every hair out of my head. Walked around bald for months when I tried to do this myself. Now, a crazy thing last night is I tried to actually shut off that access point. It's only got 9. And for some weird reason, my network just didn't react well. And I don't know why. I really don't know. And this is actually hosted by Josh. And what he's going to start doing, he's going to start charging people. Which I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't want to try to set one of these things up again. Fine paying for that. Okay, Doctor Connected all 52 are on Cache Magnet, and of the 52, I've selected 3 of 4 of. Oh, so Doctor, you actually do run. Ooh, man, I highly recommend not running Cache Magnet, running Honeygain on Cache Magnet phone. I really strongly don't. No. I really strongly don't do it. Don't do it. I tried that. I had a lot of problems. I think it really hurt my Cache Magnet earnings because of it. I mean, if your Cache Magnet earnings are okay, then I get it. Cat was so frustrating, and I thought I could do it. Thought I could set him up, but I couldn't. And now, I don't try. I send everybody to Josh. And I'm sorry, Josh charges a lot. Josh charges $125 an hour. But Mark will tell you, If Sean was here, he would tell you it's worth every penny. Worth every penny of it. Ricky Farmer, not sure entirely, but I have 16 devices currently and run about 10% utilization. Okay, so y'all see like my utilization here. It's really fairly pretty fun. I don't put on there. But you can see, I got 70 devices on that APAC. And I got utilization there. Eventually, I would like to get rid of all those the 2.4 gigahertz phones. And run all 5 gigahertz. So, Doctor, you were talking that you were having problems with Cache Magnet. What I actually do is I have 50 phones that I run Honeygain on, and with those phones, they're dedicated just to Honeygain. They don't run anything else. They run nothing else. And Honeygain is always on the top. Yeah, homeless. I almost said homeless dispatch. Sorry, hometown. Yeah, Josh is absolutely worth it. I've paid Josh quite a bit of money, and I've done a lot of testing with Josh over the months, and Josh has probably worked many hours on my stuff, and didn't ask me for any. But I've also sent Josh quite a bit of business, and probably a dozen other. Big Debbie, how did you first find Josh? Oh my gosh, this is actually a good story. I will try not to make this typical me story. I will try to give it a cliff note. So I went to the Ubiquiti site, and I was trying to understand what I needed to make the network that I have. And this Ubiquiti guy told me, basically, he's like, you need $1,000 worth of equipment. You need this, this, and this. And this guy's like, don't listen to this guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And so Josh sent me a message, and this would have been December 2008. And at the time, my nephew was helping me out, and my nephew is not technically a network engineer, but he is absolutely a computer and network guru. The problem was we were only a couple of shades above his pay grade. I mean, we were close. So after a couple of months of messing around with this, I finally contacted Josh. I didn't know. He might be a scammer. Never know what you're going to get. And so I sat down with Josh, and I paid him half up front. Excuse me. I paid him half up front. And I think at first he charged me $85 an hour. I think we did it for 2 hours. So I paid him $85 up front, and he sat and did his thing, and we got it online. I think he was only charging me like maybe it was only 150 that he was charging me. Spent like God, I don't know, 3-4 hours, and we finally got it all up online, got it up and working. And since then, he's really perfected it because this is huge networking that we're doing here. This isn't simple stuff. So, and long story short, Josh sent me a PM. I thought he was a scammer. Basically, I ended up being kind of desperate and responded back, and it's been history since. You know, Josh has made me a lot of money. Josh has made other people a lot of money, and hopefully, if we can get these IPs worked out, that I think are going to work out just fine. I think a lot of people are going to make some good money as well. Got a weird email from FluidStack, something about Windows. I didn't understand. Okay, let's see. I think somebody responded to you. Cat Scratch. FluidStack will not work on Windows anymore after a certain date. I do not remember the exact date. After that, only Linux operating system with specific GPUs will work. Yes, Ricky Farmer is correct there. Ricky Farmer is absolutely correct. When they first came out with their email, they were saying that they were only going to use people with 100 megabytes up, but they have backed that down to it's just 100 megabytes or 10 megabytes up. But they're only taking GPU people, and these are I think their GPU requirements are pretty hefty. Yes, the router configuration was a pain. It's a bunch of one-to-one NAT, and you have to know your way around your router, how to do the firewall setup. Yeah, it wasn't that for me. Doing the NAT rules and stuff on the dashboard was the easy part. I just couldn't get it online. I really couldn't get it online, and it's above my pay grade. And so with the new setup, you really don't have to do. You're not gonna have to have business internet. You can have residential internet. And I'm really seriously looking at this. Looking at dropping, or actually I'm looking at adding residential internet, which would be 1 gig internet. But it's a $200 setup fee. Scared. I'm being a little wussy about it. Being cheap. I just kind of need to take the plunge on it. Call it good. Gig internet for me would be $200 setup and another 100. Mark, I'll buy your 2.4 gigahertz Majesty Pros. We both know how good they are in cash magnet. You paid $10 a phone, and I will pay you double. I wouldn't even. It would just be sick. It would be so sick to know what I've actually made off those Majesty. God, if I just had not got banned, if I would have just been. When I first started phone farming, I started buying these Majesty Pros. Golly, Majesty Pros, man, they work like a charm. For their specs were bad. Their ETE phones, they're junk. But they don't run like junk. They run actually very good. I bet I've made, I think out of the 16, I think 14 left. I think I have. But I guarantee you I've made $200, $300, $400 over the last year and 8 months. I'm definitely going to check out running. Just see him. Yeah, uh, yeah. Try that out, doctor. Excuse me. I always say this. Don't trip over dollars for pennies. Don't do that, folks. Masquerade. Nat makes it all. Okay, so Big Debbie with the masquerade, what the masquerade does. Actually, I can show you with. Oops. Oops. Am I not getting on? I don't know what's going on here. I honestly have no idea what's going on. There. Okay. I don't know why I was hitting the wrong. So what I'm going to show you quick. These are all my internal IP addresses. So, I don't care. Well, these don't matter. But what you're going to have is you're going to have default ones. So let's say you get a new phone and you just sign into your account. I mean into your Wi-Fi. Then it just gets assigned. So for me, and it's not showing it. Okay, maybe I got that wrong. Maybe I got the wrong IP. But what Masquerade does is anything that is not assigned to an IP address. Now, all these IP addresses right here that you've seen so far, these are actually programmed into my. These are every one of these programmed into a phone. The Masquerade basically catches anything that is not assigned an IP address. And each one of these four that you're seeing, 11, 12, 13, and 14, you see how I have those labeled. And anytime you see like this 47 and so forth like that, those are Honeygain phones right there. It's on that same IP address. Each one of these are correlated to an IP address. Now, with the whole thing with the Josh and his IPs is you'll still have to do this with your phones, but it won't be in your edge router. This will all be on his end. Hopefully, I know that's going to be confusing, and really, honestly, you don't need to know any of this. You don't. You don't need to know any of this because you're not gonna use it. Cat scratch. I'm gonna uninstall my Fluidstack. I'm really disappointed with that thing. I think maybe I made 12, 18 bucks with that thing. And I'm not going to install Windows or Linux with it. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed in Fluidstack. Now Sean on the other hand, he was doing the GPU. He got in on the ground floor on the GPU, and he was making $6 or $7 a day with that. But I think their requirements have kind of screwed him over. Um, Ricky Farmer, we need to get that going. I have 1 gigabyte per second residential and do not want to give it up to go to business. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just like Mark's saying here, um, you don't have to give up. You don't have to give it up. Ricky Farmer, we should know within 2 weeks. What we're looking at doing is, or I should say, Josh. I say we too much. What Josh is looking at doing is moving these IPs out of Georgia, Missouri. I encourage everybody right now to hold off. Do not do anything. Do not expand. Do not expand. Uh, Supposedly, cash magnet earnings may be going up in March as well. I've heard that for a millennia now. Out of cash magnet. But right now, I would say hold off. Don't get business internet. Don't just hold off. I would say saving up your pennies. From my testing so far, and Sean's testing as well, is I'm not seeing any problems. Part of my issue is I'm using some of these older phones. I actually have an Aristo 1 running, which I probably made some serious cash off that Aristo 1. But and one thing I was going to show you here. So, okay. Whoops. With my account info. Oh. So this is what I made yesterday. And ah, there's my email. Okay. Well, so be it. Not going to worry about it. If I get hacked, at least I know they take like, a month and a half. So this is out of my this used to be this is actually an account that I gave away to Brian Heil. Oh, look at that. We do have my tech guy here. Joshua Moore is my tech guy. God, he actually showed up. What's up with that? I should have, if I would have known I was actually going to talk about the networking stuff, Josh, I would have actually contacted you, but it was almost a spur of the moment. So this is one of my fairly new accounts, and I just put another 8 phones on. Now that's about $1.20. Actually, that's about a buck. That's about $2.20 below what it should be. So it's light. But these phones I'm also not automating the cleanup on. So they kind of get ignored a bit. Same with this one. This is actually a very old account of mine. Actually started in March, but I finally got it up to 20 devices. So I am about $3 down on that. But like I said, we're doing tests. I would say, and plus your first few weeks of adding new phones, you don't see they're not like matured. They are not fully earning what. So, okay. Like Josh is saying, negotiations are still going. I have, he's got one more phone call. Hopefully that phone call means that he's good. Q1 is about over, so more ads should come. I don't know how they really do that, Debbie. Really don't. Well, Q1 doesn't end until the end of March. We got Bad Boy in the house right at the end of the stream. We are at an hour. So, I wish I would have gotten a hold of Josh beforehand. But, maybe when we look, if everything goes well, we'll get him on and we'll roll things out. He'll roll things out. I'm just. Okay, so that's kind of. I'm going to go over a couple of quick. Actually, I got a nasty letter from YouTube. I almost got a strike on my account. Go over that. So hopefully this helps. Like I said, hold off a little bit. Hold off a week or two on expanding. If things work out the way that Josh and I hope for here, it's going to save people a lot of money. And it's going to allow you to expand really, really cheap. Rookie farmer. He was very secretive. Make it sound like you were a black suit and have bodyguards. Oh, that's too funny. That made my day. Aaron, welcome. There's a new face. I really hate to say this, ladies and gentlemen, though, but we're over an hour. I need to get rolling. So I need to get out of this. I need to get my ceiling fan back on, so I'm roasting. But it's just something to keep in mind. And like I keep saying, I do this for y'all to make some money. I don't do this to hear my own voice. I'm not getting rich off this, for sure. So be sure to give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this really, really long video. Also, subscribe if anybody is new. And on top of all that, be sure to ring that bell to get notified live. Because that doesn't happen as much. So, thank you all. Thank you very much. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. We ended up with 10 people in here. Perfectly fine. I'd be perfectly fine doing this with 5 people or 100. I'm okay. So, okay. Thank you all very much. This has been Cashmang the Guru. Hoping that you all have a great night. Fantastic weekend.